Next item on the agenda is resolution to approve the calendar schedule for the timing of performances provided by All Construction. It is amended to reflect March 3rd, 2020 as the date. Approval of architectural and engineering services. May 10th, 2020 as the estimated date for completion of core design services. And July 15th, 2020 as the estimated date for completion of bid packages outlining preliminary scope of work.
Okay, is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Council President,
Yes, Attorney Sharp.
I was just gonna say, I would be a little reluctant to enter into something like this when, because of the virus, there is not business as usual. So how could you actually hold them to these dates in the event that entities are not working? I would just be mindful of that. It's not business as usual at all.
Mr. President.
So are you really going to enter into this commitment with that in mind?
Okay. Are you finished, Attorney Sharp?
Yeah.
Okay, Councilman Peeler?
I believe I heard the governor say last week that they are allowing for construction that is already ongoing to continue. This would be one of those items that is ongoing and it can continue.
This has
Okay.
Council President, if I could be heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna recognize you in a second, Mr. Gibbs. My thought process is this: when we approved the architectural agreement, they were supposed to give us some true cost and some other things, and the finance department was supposed to give me what portion of the city's general fund could pay for at the end of the year, could pay for the construction of the Phoenix Center. That hasn't happened, and until I get some concrete answers on the financing and how it's going to be paid for, I don't want to encumber any additional money on the city's behalf. And the problem with the virus being here, with schools being closed and other things, I just don't know the feasibility of the work happening if the city goes into lockdown, shutdown, or whatever for the foreseeable future. So then I'm going to recognize Mr. Gibbs, and then any colleague that wants to speak on it, go ahead.
Thank you, Council President, and good evening to everyone. We were not able to share this short presentation last week, so I'll be brief, Council President, but I wanted to get some detail. One is, what's being presented tonight is not a request for a budget or money or an allocation or a commitment. It's a very, very procedural step that is important. So a couple of points. One is regarding the ongoing work at the Phoenix Center, the architectural and engineering services. We've been successfully able to designate not only certain DPW members that have been assisting from Mr. Ringo's office, but also core personnel from IDS and AUK as essential workers, following the exceptions of the public executive order given by our good governor, so that there's ongoing activity and continuing work in the architectural and the scope of work that's been defined and what this has approved. So the fact that COVID-19 and the declarations have been placed by our governor and others, and even if the city were to go into further lockdown, continue to be under the accepted worker status of those particular as critical public infrastructure, and we've gotten all of those approvals. What's before you tonight is an important aspect of the ability for myself, acting on behalf of this good city and this good council, and the mayor's office, to continue to drive forward on some critical aspects. The agreement that the city has says that within 24 months of the effective date of the agreement in court, the city should complete all necessary electrical, main, elevator, and senior structural repairs to the deck, and it has following stages. None of that has really commenced. The architectural, we've already been given a notice. We anticipate a breach, and due to the fact that we're not moving forward to extend the contract with the actual party litigant, the drywall company, for continuing maintenance, this puts us into another aspect of anticipatory breach, actual breach of those agreements. What this is doing is it's moving the timeline of the city's ability, as I have stated at the meeting, to approve the IDS contract. It's eliminating the ability, not eliminating, it's really hindering the city's ability to confront how it would like to deal with the obligations it's committed to in those court documents. This aspect of the timetable that's been approved notices that as of March 20th, when this was moving forward, and we did this with AUK, we're already 4 months projected late on the design phase of this going forward, pushing the bidding and awards into July, which is the resolution that's before you. We have an obligation as a city to complete work by November. For this city to be in a position to defend itself against the damage claims and the other penalties that are embedded within that agreement, also by the court, we need to continue to have a timetable that AUK and IDS, but more importantly, when we get to bidding and awards, those companies that would have the opportunity to accelerate in material production, accelerate in the elevators, accelerate in the electrical for the tunnel, they need to know that we've committed ourselves to a structural timeline that the city is obligating, not that we're obligated to pay for anything, not that we're obligated to contract anything. All due respect to our good counsel, Sharp, this is only committing ourselves to put myself on behalf of all of you into a structural position to drive not only getting this work done, but putting you in the strongest defensive position so that you can make all the decisions on how you want this to end. You notice, and I know this slide is hard to read, it's not intended, it's showing you that the projection of this project, it can get caught up, but now we're getting increasingly further and further behind. The further we get behind, the absence of a maintenance contract and notice of anticipatory breach, you're going to put yourself into a position that you'll become less and less defensible to the ultimate outcome of what this timeline is. We're down to 7 months for this. So I'm very confident that we can accept this. I'm asking you to approve a resolution. You can hear a little urgency in my voice. All of you know me to provide you as much detail and as much aggressive support as I possibly can to put this city in the most opportunistic position to not only get this done, but to defend itself. But without a time like this, we're starting to pile up our inability to defend ourselves down the road. And so the timeline is important to give me the structural advantage to work with AUK to drive potential bidders and contractors into the process of bidding on this. If they feel that the city's not willing to move forward, they are not going to be willing to move forward, so that in the summertime, I can give you a complete package that will allow you to make decisions on the most advantageous way to get this done. And I went through all of those last time. Maybe the best way is to sell. Maybe the best way is to bond. We're not making that decision tonight, but without a compellable timeline, the city council has said, yes, we are recognizing these delays, we're recognizing this timeline. Without that, all of my world will assert to you it will be increasingly difficult to get us into the bid process on a timely basis. This will result in further delays. And so, Council President, I appreciate you letting me get all of that out. I know I'm a little long, and I mean, I'm here for questions from council.
Mr. President? Okay, Pro Tem Carter and then Attorney Sharp.
Okay, thank you. I'm looking at this, and because this is, and all these attorney presidents, I know Matt gives you attorney also. I didn't just single one out, but I'm saying this is the act of God problem. This is not a timeline that we need to be voting on. This is not life-threatening. It's not an emergency. Parts of this that we're trying to vote on is not clear. I think this whole thing should be shut down. We need to go into a recess until the executive side can bring forth all the documents that created this agenda, this memorandum of understanding, which is not just vague words, but those are actually contracts that need to be dealt with. And we were not been privy to receive those. Thank you.
Okay, Attorney Sharp?
I've said everything I had to say. I just think that you should probably resume this or take this issue up once the virus is over. But I wouldn't do it now. That's it.
Okay. Any other council people want to speak? Okay. Ms. Beck, what's the pleasure of the body? Do we want to table this, or do we want to take a vote tonight?
Personally, I say table it, have a recess, write a letter to the judge if necessary to let them know where we at. And then, when all this stalemate is all over, then all minds can be clear. We need to see exactly what's available.
Okay. Councilwoman Miller?
President, I just have to interject, with all due respect, President Pro Tem Carter, it just doesn't work that way. We can't write a letter to the court and ask for them to work with us at this point. We're 7 months in a 2-year process where we have to move forward structurally. The COVID-19 virus and everything that the state has done is in no way interfering with us in the ability to move this forward. I said before, I'm willing to have any number of special meetings, any number of interactions, hear any of this with anybody, but at this point, we have to give an indication that we can move, as a city, we can move this forward, recognizing that the court will not care that we have to do Zoom meetings for our council meetings. It's not a matter of asking for relief at this point. It's a matter of positioning the city in a way to get this done, to make decisions, to be defensible when we get to that stage. And it's not something that we can just delay at this point. We can't. And I know the timeline seems like a nonsensical thing. Oh, why do you need a timeline? It is critical structural work in getting this done. We've seen it in big projects.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hughes.
Can I just say this to the program?
Councilwoman Miller. She's got her hand up, but she's not saying anything. I don't know if she's muted. Maybe this is, she's got a cell phone too, so. Okay, Councilwoman Miller.
You muted me for so long, I've been screaming. But, that's okay. To do our fiscal responsibility, I think we should vote on it and let the vote go. That's what we hear, that is my job to vote. I agree with Attorney Sharp that we are in a crisis in the country right now. We don't know where things are gonna go. It is not fiscally, I think, responsible to go for this. So I think we need to vote on it. Let's just call what it is. That's all. Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. President,
Mayor Ward.
may I speak?
Mayor Ward. I just said Mayor Ward. I just read it.
I'm here, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. There may have been a technical glitch earlier because I had my raised hand raised also for
Can
the
you just speak,
agenda item
please,
number
Mayor
4.
Ward?
But I will
Can
speak
you
to
just
this
speak,
right now.
please? Thank you.
Are you hearing me? All right. I will speak to this right now. And this is, on this particular agenda item, I think, Mr. Gibbs has explained to you where we are with this particular item. What you already voted on, having IDS, do the job, that is described here. All we're saying is that we're giving you an information that you also want to have about what that does in affecting the timeline. So what this is just that you recognize that this is the revised timeline. That is all this is. So if there is any intention that you're voting to, as it seems to be some contention of one of the types of people I heard, that in some way you're changing what you voted before. No, it's not. So what this is just that you are ratifying what you did in a previous meeting. So, and we're doing that in the course of giving you full information, full disclosure of what is going on, and to have you be engaged in the process. All right, so that's what we have to do. In addition to that,
Thank you.
as IDS moves forward, we want to also have the council opportunity to participate in some of the decision making. So actually next week, we will be calling some of the council people to allow you to do that. So that's what this agenda item represents, a chance for council to be involved in a process that you have voted on, not only by the settlement agreement, but also by the IDS contract, which is now being pursued.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilwoman Peeler, did you have your hand up?
I do have my hand up, sir. Thank you very much. Again, I want to repeat, the governor has said that ongoing construction is not to be stopped because of COVID-19. If we use COVID-19 as an excuse to go in front of the Oakland County judge, we're going to be laughed at. they're not gonna take us serious, and they are going to tell us that we did not honor our agreement, which we do have an agreement to get this done. So it's a poor excuse. We need to move forward. We need to get this taken care of so we can show that we are doing it. We all got a letter. We've seen the letter that came from John. It was up on the screen not too long ago, a couple of minutes ago, saying that they are about to sue us for a breach of contract. At least we can do is move forward and see if we can't impress them and stop this whole thing of a breach of contract. And this is one way we can do that.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this and then I'll be done. I've asked for some financial numbers about the financing of the Phoenix Center. I also asked about the eminent domain for Lot 9. I don't have either one of those. I will not be voting on anything further until that financial information is given to me. And so the rest of the council, can do, whatever they choose to do. But I think that, for anybody to say, this is what you already voted on, so if we already voted on it, then we wouldn't need to vote again. So there's a reason that they want us to vote on this additional piece, and you can say whatever you want to say, but that is, the facts of it. Clearly, we voted on the IDS contract, and they said that we're gonna be able to give us the scope of work before we had to proceed. And that was one of the major reasons that I voted for it, so we could have clarity on what actually needed to happen. So, that's what it is. So is there a motion, to vote on this? Councilwoman Miller?
Yes, I move.
I'll support.
All right. Is there any city council discussion? Seeing none, roll call?
Angela?
I wanted to turn off their sound.
I don't have a cell on.
Yeah, Councilwoman?
Angela?
Sorry, yes, I was muted.
Taylor Parks?
No.
Waterman?
Did you hear me?
I heard you, Councilwoman Taylor Burks. You said no.
Right.
Is Councilwoman Waterman still with us?
I don't see her on the chat line.
She's on here on the chat line.
No, I don't see her name.
Williams?
No.
Carter?
No?
Miller?
No.
2, 3, 4. 4 nays, 1 yes, that action fails. Okay, so did you want to move on to the next item then, Council President? Mr. President? I think he's muted now. Somebody change the host of the meeting.
Laura?
It's because the council president just dropped off, I think, so it reverted back to tomorrow.
Okay.
Should I place the clerk as the host or pro tem?
Would be the pro tem tomorrow.
It would be the pro tem tomorrow.
Right. I'm doing it now.
Thank you.
Okay, Pro Tem Carter, you have.
Feedback.
Hello?
Oh, there's Council.
I got disconnected.
Okay.
Randy, can you make me the host?
Tomorrow I have to.
They're waiting too.
Oh. Okay.
No. I'm trying to be my host abilities. Yes. Okay, but he's doing okay, right? Well, Tim Carter, can you look and see if you're able to post in the top right corner?
In the top right corner,
Yeah.
I see full screen, and I see the full screen, and I see speaker view.
No, if you click on in the participant, links, you can click on my name and make me host.
All right, I'm trying to do it now. Oh, start. Need a better mouse. I'm looking for you, sir. That's Ringo, I'm sorry. Okay. That didn't seem to do it, sir. Tomorrow, I don't know what's going on. Trying to click on the participant.
Okay, and you don't see three dots there?
No, I see a telephone in the way where the dots are normally.
Okay.
Click on more and see if that works.
More only has stop live stream.
I don't know. Okay, let's just proceed. What was the vote?
Okay, so the vote, was 4 nays, 1 yes. So the resolution was not approved.